How to get this fast forward? Looking at the drummer, he's looking like you asked for it. Hey, like how you gon' front? Either how you gon' front every time you know that.
The 12 hour, the 12 hour switch to the upside, we're just kind of coming back down now, consolidating. So this could be a point of entry. Okay. Now, what I am looking at on this kind of 4-hour chart on the left hand side, you can see we've pushed up. And when we look at the crosshair on the right hand 12-hour chart, you can see the 12-hour overwatch is going to be below the EMA at that particular time. So this has had its move up and it's consolidating back down, touch the 50% line, close to the EMA. This could be a spot. Okay, so if we was just to, organise this in and not to put everything on the line here, maybe put 10% of the actual position size. If you're risking 2%, 10%, 2%. So, scaling in, there could be liquidity taken down any of these areas, man. I mean, I don't really talk too much about the actual plan, my trading plan, how I approach the markets and things like that. I just cover this Overwatch. But you can see some drawings on the charts today. But I'm watching the 1 minute charts down below. We've just seen a portion. We're going for liquidity now, and we'll leave it at that. So 12, 4-hour daily, all to the upside, and price is moving up at this particular point. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll leave it here, and then we will actually, let me just readjust this box in case some chunk price to so liquidity down below all this stuff. So if it does get taken, then hope to see it move up. But we have seen the liquidity be taken already here, and a couple more times dumped in for another entry, and we're moving up. So this could be a nice move, and be prepared, guys. Now when we start looking at the daily chart, again, peaking out in the Overwatch upper boundary, I haven't been there for a long time. Kind of divergence here, as you can see, even from this first candle, we've been printing the Overwatch touches. But the interesting thing is that when we square off this peak here, okay, we've come in, hammered into it, and left a few wicks there, and then we've gone up to the next level. Now we've closed just underneath it. We've had a big wick, spiked up, closed back beneath, and then today's candle has gone up and just closed back beneath it once again. So that's an important level to keep an eye on. So that's 22.825, call it. So this is the daily trend master. You can see that's just crossed up, and it is to the upside, all blue. I am expecting a move down soon. Okay, where it's going to go to, I'm not too sure. It's got to come down soon. It's gotta. So whether it comes down back to this level, retest any of these highs, retest any of these lows here, and so on this 12-hour chart you can just see a little bit more clearer the wicks here. Okay, so we are peaking, spiked up out one, spiked up out again, and just picked the previous 12-hour candles liquidity, and then closed back below that level. Okay, and we've had almost 2 12-hour candles now where we've gone up, come down, gone up, come down, and closed dot on the wick. So it's basically chopping up traders at the moment. Look at the EMA. EMA is coming up high now. All it takes is 1 or 2 candles, and we're close below that, and then that's it. It's game over. We are going to start to move down, no doubt. And as you can see by the colour candles, okay, as you can see these colour candles, it's a bit more clearer now to see the correlation with the scalper on the Trendmaster. Okay, you'll see the candle colour and then the close. So as you can see, it's green candle here. Scalpers, well, it's on a level, then a red candle to the downside, green candle to the upside, and then we've moved up. Red candle, move down. Green candle, move up. What's going to happen is if this white line crosses this black line, then we're going to get a red candle up here. We've already got the Overwatch penetration. We've got the Overwatch divergence on the 12-hour and 4-hour, but pretty much every chart. And as soon as if this does start to pull this candle downwards, you're going to see that cross the downside, red candle appear, and then no doubt I think we're going to see a move down, which isn't going to say it's going to go down to 10k or anything, but it's due for a pullback definitely. So this is a 12-hour chart with the different Trendmaster settings. As you can see, we crossed earlier to the upside here. As you can see, it's widening out. The scalper level was retested there. Okay, that's very important to note because this scalper level is really just very strong for entries and exits, etc. So once we did peek into that, you saw the scalper come up, meet price, and then we've gone up to the new level. Okay, and the scalper's creeping up, and we're going to see what happens if we do touch this, is what's going to happen. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the wave tile at 15 minutes, 1 hour, and you can see that price has basically come all the way up, kind of topped out here, and then come down and retested the scalper level to the T. Look at that, bam. So come all the way down, hit that, come back up, got the previous order block here, as you can see, in that blue block. And we've done the same thing, we've tried to move higher here and almost scooped the liquidity from that previous wick there, and then just completely collapsed, and caught that trade on the 1 minute. We'll go over that in a minute. And again into the scalper level. So when we look at this top out, okay, from this, as you can see, the Overwatch is topping out, and I mean, it's printing divergences, and I mean, how do you catch that? And I'll just explain here, okay, so we've got this peak here, okay, and this is where the Overwatch starts to come out, okay, starts to come downwards, and we've come up again, made a new high, and that high is met with this peak, and we've got divergence. So it's much easier to see this, obviously, after it's played out, but you just have to have these scenarios in your head and use the if-then rule. Okay, so if this happens, then that, and then if that happens, then this, and etc. So we've had the divergence print, 2 peaks, and then we've come up, stole that liquidity there, and then dropped beneath it, and we did look like we was carrying on up, and then just completely crashed down into the scalper level. So look at this entry, guys, absolutely insane entry here. You know, we had the Overwatch boundary touch there, okay, and we come up into the boundary, started to come out of it, and we've peaked off there. So basically just drawing off the high, waiting for a scoop of liquidity. I've got my eye on this this order block here, so I'm thinking, okay, we'll start scaling here, but didn't. Ended up scaling a lot later, and we was in down here, okay, but we never even retraced back up. We just bam, all the way down to the next boundary very quickly. You know, I've noticed the reason why I don't like shorting is because, you know, when the shorts come in, it could just visit that target and then just come back away from it very quickly. You know, you might not get filled, or it's just going to be so quick that you miss the actual move, and then with that liquidity, it's going to swing back the other way and go higher and basically stop you out with a loss. So you got to be very quick to act when you're shorting, and I just would rather not have that stress. I'd just rather wait for another long opportunity. So, you know, come in here, like you say, bam. And I'm not saying that's an entry, but, you know, when I'm entering out things like this, it's usually to start to scale a position. So as it immediately comes into profit, it's just free money. And when we do come down again and either make a divergence or something else, there's already some money there on the table from a small trade that can be used to scale up the next trade. Okay, talking about this entry in a bit more detail. Okay, so essentially we've got this this daily range here, the high and low, and the open in the middle there, and you see that push out of the day's daily range, make almost like a new high. Again, as this has peaked out, you can see it's in a kind of an order block from yesterday. We've got this peak here, didn't quite make it as high, but we just pushed up into that, and then started to collapse back down, and it's very quickly it went back underneath the daily high at that time, and then just completely collapsed back down to the lower level. But when we start to look at the Overwatch on the 1 minute, which is kind of like my pulse, you see that bam, so we're out. I've been playing with a few different position sizing strategies, and when we start to look at the account history, pretty much since I started to implement this position sizing, which is a bit more aggressive, but it's a bit more aggressive on the scaling side. We're starting out a bit higher than usual, and then having some, probably risking maybe up to 15% of the account. And as you can see, man, doing damage. First trade, like doubled the account. And you know, since then, so when we look at the 100k account, just call it 100%, and we're moving up. Not one loss, literally just mitigated a couple of trades like here. Yeah. So all the way up to 777, so it's almost like 600-700%. Another killer entry from that short that we had. It's literally non-stop all day long with these entries. You know, we come up, okay, try to
scope an entry here, and it's better when you can see all four. So I've basically got like the 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute, 3-minute set up on the app, okay, in a grid where the crosshair appears on every single chart, so you can line things up, okay. So what I had here was a 15-minute kind of candle peak, and we come up, spiked out of it, kind of consolidated, and then we broke above, which was a little bit troublesome. But I had a real small entry, probably like 0.01%, and as this comes up, 61.8, enter again, form this order block here, and we come up, made that high, and then started unloading positions here. It was a bit iffy. Thought it might just pop up a bit higher, but then we started to break down, and look what happened when we break down. Okay, so we break down, come back up, hit that imbalance, move way lower, and then bam. So amazing. And when you start looking at the finer details, okay, which I can't get into in this video because it's just too detailed, but the fact that like this box comes from like a 1-minute order block. You know, majority is like 1 to 3 minute order blocks refined down right to the lower end, and then we're looking for the Overwatch touches, like for example the Overwatch touch here, directly in the order block, and then bam, and you know, catching the top there. So when we start to do a risk reward, even with the bigger kind of stop loss up here, we've got like a 3-hour trade. Then another look into this, you know, I did quite a bit on today. I mean, just look at the trades from today, from the 22nd, okay, just from last night, from 4K, working its way up, and I'm still operating in my head 100K account. Like I haven't even adjusted the R multiples up to this level, so 1% for me is 1K, 2%, 2K, etc. We're just keeping it for that. So in my head, I've got like 8 accounts here. So yeah, another bang on entry all the way down to the 50% fib extension. Absolutely fantastic, man. I'm, like I said earlier, I'm expecting a bit more of a move down here. So just be aware, you know, just be prepared. Yeah, so with that being said, guys, it's been a pleasure providing these memes, videos, cool things like that, conversing with you guys. Time to head out now, get to grips with the future. Wish everybody all the best. Stay safe, stay blessed, take care.
Time and I used to see eye to eye. Now she got me running behind, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2. 1 minute I'm balls deep, next minute got cold feet.